Welcome back to the Console Complete Podcast, featuring myself, Spencer, and I'm the only one here for Neanderthal Gaming TV, but we have Fist Cake coming in from the left field. Oh, he's going down. Oh, can he take it all the... Whoa, no, he lost it.
I did? Oh, no, I thought I had... Oh, man. Oh.
You almost had it, but, you know, you didn't quite make it. Whatever weird fucking game I decided to make it out to be.
I appreciate you letting me lose in your fantasy of what's going on.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no fucking problem, dude.
Yeah, no probs, dude. But we're going to talk about what we played this week. Fistcake, why don't you start us off?
Well, I played some games since the last time we recorded. It's actually been 2 weeks, but
Yes.
a lot of stuff has happened, as you can tell. Spencer's all by himself, and Matt's somewhere in the world. Nobody will ever know for sure. What have I played this week? I have played Magic the Gathering, the arena. Me and Coulter are doing that on Thursday evenings now instead of Dead Island, because holy shit, that fucking game. We got to a point, like, I think we were like halfway through the game, or like 3/4 of the way through the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going through the story because we're just trying, like, okay, let's just beat it. We're just going to go through the story. Don't really have time for all these side quests, otherwise we'd be here all day. And we got to a garage that had like 10 people in it with each of their own unique side quests.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, well, the culture didn't really say a whole lot, but I was like, are you kidding me? No, I'm not doing any of these. Absolutely not. But me and him agreed to just not do Dead Island anymore. So we played Magic the Gathering Arena. Coulter won some matches. I won some matches. It was a good time all around. They have this. They're celebrating the new release of the new series called War of the Spark, which basically introduces uncommon planeswalkers.
Interesting.
Yeah, which are just basically, you play a little bit of Magic. You know what planeswalkers are, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, I heard about this one. It's where it's like there's a ton of planeswalkers in there, but they're not like the standard planeswalkers.
Yeah.
So they don't have like all the weird like abilities. They're more like, you know, creatures that you play or whatever.
They're mostly, like most of them are like basically whenever this card's out in the field, it does this one thing. It has one roll down ability and only has like 3 to 4 life. Like you can't roll it up, you can't give it health or anything. You can only roll down and use its abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a couple for like each color variation, like all the colors and the combination of colors and whatnot. So it's kind of cool. I've gotten a few, but I think I only have like 1 or 2 in a deck. That's like, it's okay. But so that was fun. Excuse me. Also been playing Sekiro. Finally finished it, at least the first playthrough. I'm going through the game a few times to get through all the endings just to get that completionist for no reason, because I imagine once I get through it, I probably won't be playing it anymore. So I'm like, yeah, right. I'll just get through it. Gotcha. And won't get into like a whole spoiler cast or anything about it, but it's a lot of fun. It is a very good game. The new Game Plus thing is super easy until you get to like mini bosses or bosses. And for the most part, they're okay because you kind of like know their patterns and whatnot anyways. But like now, like in New Game Plus, like they can deal like New Game Plus damage to you. So like
interesting.
So like the ogre was like killing me with like 1 or 2 hits.
Wow.
And like, yeah, New Game Plus level. I'm like, oh, okay, great, fantastic. But nothing is really. I mean, I'm already up to. I already defeated Genichiro again. I've defeated the 4 monkeys again.
Nice.
And now I'm just trying to make my way back to Mibu Village and all that stuff.
Right. So, I'm not sure if you already said this, but are you trying to get like through all the endings and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All 3 good endings and the 1 bad ending.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
I think.
Because Matt and I put a bunch of time into well, I mean, we already talked about this, but yeah, I am pretty sure that we ended up getting all of the prerequisites for all the endings and then chose which ending we wanted. So,
Gotcha. Okay. So like you said before you did the thing.
well, we did what we thought was like the best ending, and then we went and just like watched the other endings. But what you can do, and there's a legitimate way of doing it, where you just before the point of no return that everybody talks about, you can back up your save.
Okay. And just do that. Hey, Tech, how's it going? Don't worry about being late. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you. Yeah, and so I got to the second part, and then like there's this thing where Kuro, like you talk to Kuro after like you've been captured for the first time or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to give me back my charm that I gave you? Are you sure it's gonna be super hard without this charm?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I don't want to give that up because I had no idea what it was, and I didn't want to like accidentally like completely screw myself." Yeah. But apparently all it does is just like it allows chip damage for whenever you block stuff. So I imagine I'll probably have that for the third playthrough, or maybe the final playthrough. I'll make it like super tough and just kind of like make it tough again. But
right.
All in all, good stuff. We'll talk more once we get Matt on the horn again.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And we can all talk it out. Another game I very hard game I played is Katana Zero.
Right. Yeah, I saw that you were playing that.
And yeah, it just came out, I think like last week or the week before, and it came out of nowhere because like I saw like for E3 or so, I saw some trailer for it. I'm like, oh, that'll be cool to get at some point, and then it just popped out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, I guess this is the point. I'll get it. Okay, and
right,
very fun game. I really enjoy the style, the atmosphere, and everything. It's just like the last, like the way it ends is not very fulfilling because it basically sets it up for either DLC or for like a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I know there's going to be DLC for sure because like once you beat the game, there's like, hey, you can now access this mysterious area, which apparently you can acquire new swords throughout the game now. And there's like an elevator that once you select it, it's like, oh, check it back in a few months. It's like, oh, okay. Very subtle. Okay. Guess I'll check back in a few months. But I think the DLC will be fun. I think it'll continue off with the first guy's story. And there's like another antagonist or whatever. Or not, well, not really antagonist. It's hard to describe. It's like basically you're kind of going through. I'm kind of starting from like page 35 of the book. Basically, Katana Zero.
Okay.
I should start from the beginning. Katana Zero, you play as an assassin who uses a time drug called Chronos.
Yeah.
And allows him to manipulate time, and basically that just allows you to restart every time you die, so you're not like always dead. And it opens up very fun story stuff, and opens up like cool things. But and throughout the story, you're basically assassinating people that have stuff to do with Chronos, and then like you end up like having like a rival character that's like, oh yeah, fuck these guys too, but fuck you too. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. All right, just fuck everybody, I guess. And you get to play him for a mission, which is pretty cool because he has his own unique time ability. But highly recommend it. Very fun game. You can get on all the consoles, I think. I know you can get on the Switch and PS4, I think, and the PC. Not sure about the Xbox. But highly recommend it. It gets super tough so quickly, but it's whatever. What else did I play? Monster Hunter World. I mean, not a whole lot new to talk about that. It's on sale right now because it's like the golden week or like the appreciation week for Monster Hunter, where like there's like increased chances of dropping rare loot and stuff and typical MMORPG bullshit.
Right.
And what else? I played Secret World Legends with Kelly from Super Hopped up this week.
Secret World. I haven't heard that
Yeah.
game in forever.
Same here. And then he because we're doing like these free to play MMOs to make a series and whatnot. And he brought up Secret World. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't heard about that since like it first was coming out like billions of years ago. Yeah. And it's I wouldn't recommend it. it's just I don't really care for the story or anything that has anything to do with it. Also, my character was like a gunslinger, and I didn't realize that makes them a healer.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't have like any healing abilities, so I didn't know I didn't know what was going on. But like towards the end, I finally got like ability that allows me to shoot like healing shotgun rounds for some reason.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, we fought like some Cthulhu monsters, fought zombies, and they're like, okay, that's enough of that. So I don't recommend Secret World Legends. Don't worry. It's free, but don't worry about it. Don't even play it. Don't even bother with it.
Sounds
and I think that's about it for me. What have you been up to?
Well, before I get into that, I wanted to ask Tack in the chat if he could just let us know how we sound. Just want to make sure everything is working appropriately and that the stuff is even. But yeah, as far as what I played, as we'd mentioned before, it's just me right now. Matt's currently out of town, so I'm holding down the fort. As far as games that I've played, not a whole lot. I played Legend of Gungeon. Wait, Legend of Gungeon? Enter the Gungeon. There's another game series. It's Legend of the Endless. It's the same people who did Endless Space. And Legend of the Endless is a very similar. It's like a roguelite type thing. And for some reason in my brain, I'm getting the names mixed up. But no, I played Enter the Gungeon both Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and I'm having a lot of fun. Like, the game's pretty good. When Matt and I first got the game, it had issues. Okay, we played the game, I think, almost completely on release. We might have even played like an early build of the game. And, and when we first played it, I remember we got about 4 to 6 hours into the game, and something happened where we lost the entirety of our save and had to start over again.
Oh no!
And I remember if you go back far enough, I have a tweet where I tweeted at them about the problem, and they never answered me back.
They're like, "Oh fuck, we know this. Oh, just don't answer it. It's fine. We'll just fix it."
I just remember tweeting at them, right? But and then of course there was some other weird stuff, like keys were really hard to get back in the day. You had to do like special strats to make sure that you would have enough keys, because keys just didn't drop.
Oh wow!
Like very easily at all. And so you would have runs where you could get a weapon, and if you did, then the run was good. But if you didn't, then you were like extremely limited. And and there was like a definite, like, this game, they need to try to rebalance this somehow, right? But the game now, all that's fixed. It's fun. I haven't spent a lot of time playing a roguelike like that, where I'm just playing for extended periods of time and trying to improve and stuff like that. Because usually when I play a roguelike, I'm trading off with Matt and Coulter, or I play like a little bit of it. But I never get to a point where I'm seeing like consistent improvements and I'm getting better at the game and I'm dodging and I'm learning the systems and stuff like that. And that's the feeling I'm getting right now, which is not something that usually happens when I'm playing roguelikes, because I was a little afraid of jumping in there and doing it. Because in the past, I've just had like a really bad track record with things like Binding of Isaac and last time I played Enter the Gungeon or Crypt of the Necrodancer and stuff like that. It's just usually not very good. Usually I die pretty quickly, right? But the environment of streaming it and just being able to completely focus on the game, and then also Matt's like been just feeding me information.
I saw that,
and just like and it's helping out like so much. which is really cool. And I've made it. The farthest I've made in the game so far is the 4th chamber or the 4th floor.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
I've gotten there like twice, and it's I think I don't know how many. There's like 5 or 6. So I'm getting there.
You are, yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I think I got into like the 3rd floor once, so you're doing a lot better than me. So,
well, I had 3 straight days of streaming it. I'm sure when I go to play it on Monday, I'm gonna have issues for like the first couple of runs or something like that.
Well, yeah.
There's like a daily rust tax for that game. It's like the first run, you either it goes one of 2 ways. You either just play terribly and you're just like, okay, that was the first run, whatever. Or you ever have that moment when you're playing a game and it's a game like a roguelike or maybe a fighting game where the first try for the day or what have you do like really well. You're like, man, I'm fucking sick. I didn't forget any of this. I'm doing so good. And then after that ends, the next like 6 tries, you're just like, I suck. Like nothing's working. Yeah. It's all bad. Like, wait, why was I doing so good before? And now it's like, I'm just dying all the time. And that happened to me on Wednesday or something like that.
Smash. Every time I play with you guys, it's like the first matches are like, oh, wow, I did all right for not having played for 3 weeks. And then like the more games we play, I'm like, oh yeah, and Cinnamore can't jump. Oh, God, I don't. You
start to see through the jungle of happiness. And you come out on the other side and you're like, oh, I have limitations.
Trials and tribulations. I'm going back in the jungle. I'm living here.
Put me back in the jungle, please.
Came back from the giveaway, didn't anything. So what did I miss? Not much. We're still talking about games.
Yeah, we're talking about Enter the Gungeon. I wanted to know, now that you're back, how do we sound as far as our sound levels? Just wanted to make sure everything sounded okay. But besides Enter the Gungeon, I've played Melee. Mm-hmm. I've been doing the net play streams, at least just for this weekend. I wanted to do it on Sunday. There were problems.
Oh, no.
But by the time I had it figured out, I was just like, screw it. I decided to work on the sound setup that we have here to try to get it to work a little bit better as far as making sure that stuff doesn't bleed through all the time. You guys sound great. Perfect. Thank you. What about Dungeon Game? We're talking about games that we played, and like the thing that took up most of my game playing time was probably Enter the Gungeon. So we were just talking about that. It's pretty good.
Fun little roguelike if you never played it before, Tech. Highly recommended.
Everything is a pun on guns. And you would think, they can't come up with that many puns. Like it goes from this is kind of dumb to wow, that's pretty good. I didn't see that one coming. Like every item and person and everything.
Yeah, I was about to say, like you're literally fighting bullets in a dungeon. That's pretty top notch right there.
Yeah. And then you get a gun. You get the what is it called? You get the shell and you get the bullet. And they're weapons that shoot, like the shell is shaped like a shotgun shell, but it shoots shotguns.
Oh yeah,
like it's a shotgun.
Picture that, yeah.
There's like a flip version of it. It's pretty good. I try to keep an eye out for dungeon games. I missed the name. Only heard dungeon. Oh, Enter the Gungeon, with a gun at the beginning. Enter the Gungeon. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, he got it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The game is Enter the Gungeon, though. Just making sure you got it. Okay. I'm just making sure.
It's cool. It's all right. It's cool.
But besides Enter the Gungeon, I played Melee and doing the net play thing. I did all my placement matches for my, if you get bronze or silver or whatever on the ladder, and I probably won 3 games out of like 9. So lo and behold, I got like one of the lowest placements. Wow. I got bronze 1 or something. So that was kind of funny. But played a lot of really cool people today. A couple of them wanted to stick around and do like friendlies and stuff like that.
Nice.
This one guy, he literally plays none of the top tiers, except from like Pikachu. He played Mewtwo, and I won against his Mewtwo. And then he's like, hey. He actually came into the chat because we'd already closed like the thing. He came onto the stream and was like, hey, rematch. But his name was different, so I'm like, I don't know who you are, right? But we ended up rematching, and he played Bowser, and he won. Although it was like, he won 2, I took 1, so it wasn't like just destroyed me. But He had some interesting tactics. Like Bowser could do this weird thing where when he gets up off the ledge, his attack can like just continuously knock somebody off the ledge, preventing them from grabbing it, and you can just kind of do that over and over again, and kill my Samus that way. I was like, oh, well, that's a weird little thing.
Found that out.
And then you play Pikachu, and I think someone else, and his Pikachu is like super good too. Like it's very rare I get to play against these types of characters, and in Melee, when you play against somebody who plays them, they like play them, you know. So they're doing, you know, he's doing all these weird off strategy stuff where only if you've played against the character would you know to look for it, and if you never have, they kind of mess you up. So that's pretty cool. So I did that today and yesterday, and I think literally that's all the games I played. Like I didn't do anything else. As far as gameplay, I wanted to start playing Persona 5 because Matt was like, "Yo, you should. I mean, you know, you're gonna have some time. You should work on playing. You should try that out if you want to." Because I had expressed like, "Well, I mean, you guys seem to really enjoy it, and Joker just came out, but now I can't play it because Matt, you know, has the Switch. Maybe I might try playing Persona 5, but I didn't get a chance to do it this week, so maybe I'll do it this week."
There you go. I highly recommend it, especially since the new one won't come out for us until like 2020, so you'll have like a year to breathe. Well, not a full year, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I have time to catch up.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I think that's about it. Do you want to move on to the first topic?
Yeah, which is
a little early, but usually we play more games. So.
Yeah.
And so as it turns out, the first topic it has to do with Persona. Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely, but before that, Tag says, I've been playing Magic the Gathering Arena a lot since Fist's last stream. I forgot how good the card game was. Already level 25 and made a good Dino deck. Nice.
That's cool.
I was kind of like the same boat when I finally found out that it was out of the beta or whatever. I was like, oh, it's out now. I'll just play a little bit. Like 1 week later, I've got all the decks you can get and fucking maxed out. And now I'm just grinding to get coins to get more packs. Those fuckers, they got me good. But so since the last 2 weeks have been gone, Persona 5 news has come out, and we're gonna talk about the first one, which is Persona 5: The Royale. And
the Royale with cheese.
Yeah. With cheese. That's the new character. It's just a cheese slice. How did you know? Actually,
guess.
Just a wild guess. Oh my god!
Sometimes it just works. You
know. So Persona 5: The Royale is basically Persona 5 Golden for people who play the Persona games, and it's almost like that to me, almost to a fall. But we'll find out more once we actually play and whatnot. But it's just like. It looks like what exactly what they did with Persona 4 Golden, and they're like, new area, new character, and make the mascot a human person for a while, you know, which we don't have that confirmed. But people are speculating there is a human Morgana.
Oh yeah, that's what Tag was saying in the chat just now. He's like, ah.
The Royale, yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So. Basically, in this article, they actually have names and whatnot. New features to the game include a new Phantom Thief named Kasumi Yoshizawa, a new confidant named Takuto Maruki, who works as a counselor at Shujin Academy, which is where you go to school at.
Right.
A new location to explore. I can't even pronounce that. Kichijoji, however you pronounce that, which looks to be like a dock area. So it's like I think it's like a shopping area / dock area. And then apparently there's like they're in like a whole nother semester that you can actually hang out and do stuff. And because there was like giant time lapses in Persona 5, like after the ending, I don't think you were in jail the whole time either.
It's fine. I've seen the ending.
I know. Because you you watched him play it, but what was I going to say? Yeah, so I'm not for sure exactly where they're fitting that in, but we'll find out.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. By the way, I think it's pronounced Kichijoji.
Kichijoji. Okay, gotcha.
That's cool. What I'm going with.
I mean, it works for me. It's a pronunciation, so that's a little bit better than what I was doing. But it looks like they're having like you can do activities with the whole group. Like you can actually like play pool and darts and stuff at some place. And there looks to be like there's like team up maneuvers with like other characters.
That's
Like there's
interesting.
like there's like one with Morgana and Heyru, I think is her name, curly haired girl that nobody cares about because she shows up like at the last month before
Oh,
everything
yeah.
goes down.
She
Like,
can't get properly. She can't properly get waifu status because she's not there long enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking on one of the discords. I'm like, honestly, for a whole new character, what they should have just done is like have Haru show up like 3 months earlier and just say that she's a new character and nobody would notice. It would have been the same. It would have been the same fucking thing. But so all that and new animations, all kinds of new stuff. We'll probably get a lot more information once, obviously, when the stuff comes out. But it's supposed to come out in Japan this year, October 31st, and we'll probably get it sometime next year.
Wow.
Man, I'm wondering if we're allowed to stream it this time, or if we're gonna get banned from streaming that too. I don't know. Atlas, looking at you,
right?
Atlas.
Can we still not stream Persona 5 or
I think you technically can't do it. Like the original rule is like you can only stream or record up to a certain date.
Right. Yeah, because
I
they don't want to give anything away.
And I think that rule still applies, but it's not enforced anymore, I think, is the thing. I don't know, because I've seen people stream it and play and whatnot.
Right.
There's a lot.
Zero did a whole playthrough of it, I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I thought you could. Okay, I will. Tag says, Hero has a lot of depth with her. You might not have just spent enough time with her. Well, yeah, no.
That sounds like the words of somebody who is a little attached.
No, I mean, honestly, I would like. Haru seems like a cool person, and she seems unique and whatnot. But it's like the point where you get to her is like, okay, well, these are most of the characters I have. I'm gonna go pick this girl or pick that person, whatever, and I'm gonna hang out with them mostly. And then she shows up. It's like, oh, well, this is weird. I don't really plan on hanging out with you, but okay. Futaba is my girl. Oh, yeah. There we go.
I just know the girl is hurting. I got you.
Yeah. I just know there's a never mind. I was about to talk about shitpost YouTube videos about it, but there's no story there. Right. And more Persona 5 news is that Persona 5S, or which is Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers, they make a Dynasty Warriors game, but with the Persona 5 characters.
It's weird.
Oh yeah.
For a second there, I thought you said Scrabble. So Persona 5 Scrabble. Nope. No. I don't know what you would do with that. Like, you can't really theme Scrabble.
It's just regular Scrabble, but you're like playing against the Phantom Thieves, and then like it's set in the Mementos area, you know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
I am playing Maiden. Anyways,
anyways, let's just play a regular game of Scrabble.
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn it. Yeah, it's just a Musu game with you fight a bunch of enemies with your weapon and your persona. I wish there was more I could talk about. I think they're going with the way like how the Legend of Zelda Hyrule Warriors theme, where like basically that had like its own Zelda story within it, but also like featuring other Zelda characters.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're doing the exact same thing because there's like a whole new face at the end of the trailer. It's like, oh, who's this? Probably the fucking person you're either fighting or whoever brought you into this world or something. Who knows? What does the text say? Text says, Futaba is my girl. I have weakness for sweet girls and those who have mental issues and have a hard time connecting with people. Might be one of the contributing reasons why I fell in with my boyfriend who has all that, but is a guy. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, she just liked to play video games. I'm like, yeah, all right, Futaba, you and me, let's go. Cool. Rock and roll, Futaba. Fatuba. Oh, God. So that's all the news we have about the Persona 5 stuff.
Yeah. So
excited to see all that.
Yeah, no, it should be really cool. I can't wait for that to come out. Unfortunately, it's like it's months and months for us.
Oh well, yeah, at least a year. But I mean, I'm fine. It's a big game, and I just when I was like thinking about playing it again, of the news of this show, I'm like, I'll wait a bit. Let me wait a bit, and I'll play it that time, or I'll play it then. Or I might try New Game Plus. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you know. In the meantime, right?
Yeah.
But next up, we got here Fortnite. You call it Fortnite CRUNCH. So basically, what happened with this was they're talking about how right after Fortnite became a success, there was just like a huge crunch for the whole company.
Oh yeah. The article I actually put in the Slack is just a TLDR of a giant ass Polygon article, which I read. And it kind of comes down to the fact like executives are like, hey, we need all this patched. We need these new updates. We need these new stuff. All right. And like it goes from people saying like, yeah, I work 100-hour weeks, but if I take a day off, then my workload's shoved onto somebody else. And other people are working even longer hours. The two people that did take weekends off, because of that, we didn't reach a goal, so now they're fired. And
it's crazy. Yeah, I'm seeing here that they give them unlimited time off, but like if you do that, then that happens, and then you can still get fired for it. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I put an article in the streams real quick of the Polygon thing, and it's so long, and it's just like every single paragraph's like, that's gross. Oh no, that's more gross. Oh yeah. No, this is the one that is gross.
Yeah, and then apparently the big update people were waiting for, that I think it's referring to the one that's a tie-in for the new Avengers movie. Apparently it's been like beloved, or people waiting for it to come out, and so hearing that, it's like, oh, these people put so much work into it, but apparently because it's a tie-in for Avengers or something, they've actually seen a dip in players. Like it's one that people have been waiting for, but I guess
I think that's another thing too. Like they had like some siphon ability. Like last patch, this is not has nothing to do with this, but real quick, TLDR. Last patch had like ability where basically every time you killed somebody, you would regenerate a little bit of health and a little bit of shields, which a lot of people, like the top players enjoyed because like it helped them live longer. But all the casual people were like, no, I hate this, and it dipped then. So I don't know if that correlates with the end game thing at the same time or not. I'm not for sure. But trying to think what else that they say in this article that's not. Oh yeah, and so basically, whenever what was it? I'm trying to find a specific story where I think it was the QA team or some kind of team at Epic. They're like, okay, hey, listen, you gotta do so many tickets, and so I need you to do all these tickets. It's like, okay, we can do that. And then like the next day it was like, hey, listen, there's a lot more tickets, so we hired 50 people and they have no training on how to do stuff, so figure it out.
Jesus.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, a source who worked in customer service dealing with player questions and problems said, we went from maybe 20 to 40 tickets a day to about 3,000 tickets a day. The source added that Epic rapidly hired new staff to handle the deluge, but that the problem couldn't simply be solved immediately with more employees. It happened so quick. Literally one day we were a small amount of people. The next day it was just, hey, by the way, now you have 50 more people on this shift who have absolutely no training. And
That's
it's
crazy.
just, yeah. And there's two problems to this. There's like the executives at the top. They're like, hey, we need all this shit going right now. And at the very bottom, it's all the new people that are coming in, and they're like, hey, I want to make a name for myself. I want to look good in the company's eyes. So yeah, I'll work these 100 hours, and I'll shut up. I don't give a shit. But that's just like squeezing the people in the middle to like, oh, but I would like to also live a life where I'm not working on the Orange Justice dance for 10 hours straight because there's a glitch. If he does the dance in a wall, he can glitch through it, and now and now he can shoot people for free. Oh God. But so yeah, if you're ever bored sometime and you just want to hate how the game development companies work these days, check out that article on Polygon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the article that I was mentioning about the changes, it actually I was totally wrong. So I feel like I actually do have to say something about it. So apparently there was a change done a while back where, just like you were saying, when people died, when you got a kill, you would get health back, and then also you could carry more stuff. There was it was just kind of like a whole overhaul for like equipment and stuff like that. But back in March, they undid the changes, and the competitive scene was really upset because they're like, "Hey, this made the game a little bit more competitive. There was more strategy, right?"
Yeah.
But people are like, "Hey, you need to revert this. You need to revert this," and Epic hasn't done that, and they just now had stated why they didn't do it, and they were saying like ultimately, the average player played less when we put this change in. Like, competitive players found it more enjoyable because they had more staying power and they could kind of get their health back. But the average player, apparently, according to stuff they were doing, they became more frustrated with the Fortnite play, feeling that they had less of a chance due to encounters with high school players with full health and shields like all the time. So basically being, because you gave people a way to bring up their stuff like in the middle of a fight, essentially, it makes them harder to kill. So people with higher skill level, it separates the skill ceiling, I guess, is what they're saying. And so so then they just got rid of it.
Well, yeah, they're more interested about getting the kids and the people playing and buying skins and whatnot rather than the competitive people, you know?
Yeah, the less competitive people were saying the game became too intense and they didn't like it anymore.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay, it's still the same fucking game. It just has a new mechanic.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean that's my view of it, but I guess we don't really play the game. And
true.
And they're dealing with like when they say, an amount of the player base stops playing, that's like it could be 1 million people. You know, like the numbers are large enough where it could be that big of or at least hundreds of thousands of people who just played less because they just didn't enjoy it that much.
Maybe it'd be the equivalent of Smash Ultimate getting a very good netcode, and then everybody starts playing better because of the good netcode. But now all the casual players can't rely on lag to, compensate for the lack of skill.
No, I just say get good. I mean, like,
Exactly. Just get good. And you know
well, yeah, it's interesting because I feel like that might have like kind of an effect on that. Yeah. But at the same time, the current net play, like the current net code for Ultimate, literally prevents some higher like some higher players who maybe have waffled back and forth between playing Ultimate and Melee since it came out, even though they really enjoy playing Ultimate. Like, for instance, a good example is Leffen, who has been playing pretty well in Ultimate, but has decided to put Ultimate on the backseat because he's in Sweden and can't play. And the only way he can play against other people is if he brings somebody over, or he plays with them online. And playing with them online when you're in Sweden, not only do you not have the Americans that you can play against, which is a big portion of the player base, but and a lot of the competitive players, but then you also just have to deal with the lag, and he's like, it's just not worth it, so I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, but I don't blame him at all. That's most of the reason why I really don't stream it a whole lot anymore. It's tired of apologizing, like, oh, sorry, Nintendo servers suck.
It makes you feel like you need to explain why you just lost. Like like it infuses more opportunities for you to have like an excuse, or to feel like you need to have an excuse. And like, what? It especially if you're streaming, you're like, oh guys, no, I'm really better though. I'm better than this. It's just a thing. And some people don't seem to have as big of an issue with it, and so then it's like it makes it worse. You're like, well, I mean, he's apparently adapted, but I haven't, and why do I have to keep explaining this to people, or at least feel like I need to keep explaining this to people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, for the most part, people in chat were understanding. Like, yeah, it's just Nintendo, but yeah, it's still just weird for a game to shut down like every 10 minutes or so. It's like, oh, okay, great.
Right. Yeah.
But that's just us being entitled, as entitled gamers. Which
I mean, melee net play just works most of the time. It's I mean, it is still regional, but you can connect with somebody and have almost lag. It's very low amount of lag where it's playable. So I mean, and that was fan made. I'm just saying.
Yeah, minor details. Oh, speaking of fan stuff.
Oh yeah, Skyrim Together. So we've talked about this before. I think actually 2 times before as news has come out. Skyrim Together is a mod that I think they're still working on it, but to be able to make Skyrim be just like a multiplayer game, like everybody has always dreamed Fallout and Skyrim to be, and then Fallout 76 happened, and that's not really what I was looking for. But
I think that's what anybody was looking for.
Right, but apparently the developer of the mod says that the team doesn't owe the community anything. So I had to preface this by saying that it's I think it was fan funded. So the fan funded Skyrim multiplayer mod may never release, as devs don't owe the community anything. She posted a comment on Reddit earlier this month suggesting that the developers have considered giving up on the project due to the reaction from players. It was made in response to a post on the mod subreddit titled "Is Something Going to Happen?" So like, hey, and then apparently that post was deleted.
Yeah.
But the development team seems to have been upset by its overall message, and she's responding saying, "We don't owe the community anything, and that updates are posted only if we feel like spending time doing it." Just very like blasé. He follows up by saying that the team is not making this for the community, and that the community has been so toxic we even considered saying "fuck it" and giving up, or continuing but never releasing anything to the public, so just having it for themselves. We're making this for ourselves because we think it's a very fun project to work on, and we learn a ton doing this. And it goes on talking about it, but apparently it says, as pointed out in the response to that comment, the community around the mod is still contributing more than $18,000 per month to the development process via Patreon. At the height of the project's popularity, that figure rose to nearly double the current amount. So they're literally getting paid to do this.
And they say, fuck you, we're just going to do it our way.
Whenever we get around to doing an update or like doing it, then we'll do it. But otherwise, we just want to have fun here and make $18,000 a month, which is an extraordinary amount for a Patreon page. I'm sure it's probably a team of like 5 or something, right? So it's not like they're all like totally making a living off of it, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, $18,000 a month split between like even 3 people, and that's like $6,000 a person.
That's
$72,000 a year.
Yeah, that's an amazing. That's twice what. That's more than twice what like a teacher makes.
Yeah.
Making $2,000 a month is like pretty good, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Very
How can they act like this? I guess despite the huge popularity around the release of Skyrim Together closed beta earlier this year, the project has since been marred by controversy. It ended abruptly when the team was accused of using code from the Skyrim script extender mod without permission. The team currently claims that it's trying to remove that code, but which could make up as much as 25% of the entire project. So apparently they were using a script extender without asking permission from the person who made it. And as everybody knows, yeah, you can use things like that if you're not making money off of it. But as soon as you start making money off of something like that, of course, people are going to want to get compensated or at least provide permission.
Yeah.
Especially if you're building something off the back of someone else's work.
Oh, yeah.
So, on one hand, I can see that they might be frustrated with having to essentially like rebuild something, and that's a very frustrating process. But regardless, just update people, man. You're paying your bills. Yeah. Just like, hey, we're still working on it, guys. Sorry about the controversy. We're going to get it done. It's just going to take a while. Like, you just customer service 101, just communicate. I don't see
just once a month, a monthly update. Hey, this is what we've done. Yeah. This is what we're planning on doing. And see you next month. That's all you have to do.
Because
everybody does it.
Yeah. Literally, it's like, so what if you're not able to make like a legitimate update to content in the game right now because you're having to make this big change? Just the fact that you're providing a look at least what the current status is way better than just not saying anything at all and then responding poorly to a post that is asking, hey, is anything going to happen?
No, fuck you. We're not going to make anything.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, it's just crazy.
Tech says, that's the issue from fun-faned stuff via Patreon. Patreon has loopholes. I know a few people who make games on Patreon, though they are much nicer and always apologize if they are late on delivery for a game update or an update on the progress. Yeah.
Right.
You could do that. You could apologize or say, like, hey, this is what's going on. Just information. That's all you have to
explain what you're doing,
Yeah. Well, they're probably fucking off playing other modded versions of Skyrim in the same room. That's what they used all the money for, is just to buy a house together so they could play together.
Yeah, right.
But
apparently they're not obligated to deliver fully. So I guess I would say they can cancel.
Oh yeah, because it's a Patreon.
I would say they're
like
not legally obligated, right?
Yeah.
But it's still shitty.
Oh yeah,
but, yeah. I mean, I think we're all in agreement. It's still like, yeah, sure, they can't. They're not legally bound, and so they can technically do it. It just doesn't make them a good person,
Yeah, and I mean, if it keeps up, they're just not going to have funding anymore, which that's on them. So
yeah. So hopefully, people. I mean, this is words from one person, right? Mm-hmm. This is not the whole team. This is just one member of the team that was saying all this stuff. So, I mean, I would hope that the rest of the team at least does something to mitigate damage, and if they don't, then I'm going to assume that that's the opinion of the whole team. I'm not even paying into the Patreon, but I'm just trying to put my head into the mind of somebody who did give them money. I would give them a chance to respond as a team, and if they don't, then I would just stop funding. Because you don't want to make a decision necessarily based off of just one person in a team who's speaking for them.
So currently they're still making $18,000 a month. Okay. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Oh, well. Yep. So that's the thing.
But moving on to our next topic here, we have Mortal Kombat 11. So this is an article, Fistcake, that you found. It says it's getting 2 patches to help with the grind. You want to talk about that?
Absolutely, but 1 second. Tech said some other stuff.
Oh, okay.
No. Like, if the fans are just attacking the developers for no reason, then the developers can stop. But yeah, they should talk as a team and talk to the Patreons. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
But
definitely
with Mortal Kombat 11, it's fallen to the whole loot box scheme of things, where basically you go through this thing called the Towers of Time, where you play through that to get your cosmetics, your brutalities, and whatever. Basically, anything that you wanted to like accessorize your character with, you have to go through this thing called Towers of Time.
Okay.
But the problem is, I think with games from before, like previous Mortal Kombat games, you would go through these towers, and they would have like set rewards for each chest that you unlock. Mm-hmm. Like if you play with this person and you get through the whole tower, you get like their brutality, blah blah blah. But this has become just like a pure loot box where, basically everything is just randomized, and it can take like, I think they said like years just trying to play the game before you can get all the stuff that you would want to get. And apparently the game, and the other part of the problem is that the Towers of Time gets very difficult. Like there's this YouTube streamer guy named Maximilian Dude who plays like a lot of fighting games, and he's playing this, and he's like, yeah, this is the most unfun part of any game I've ever played in my whole history of games, because
Jesus.
Like it's bad enough when I'm just trying to fight 2 guys in the Towers of Time, but then I had to fight 2 guys with flying projectiles and stuff shooting out at random locations. That's not fun.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's so weird, right? Because I was a little bit excited because they were talking about how they were trying to approach things like microtransactions and stuff like that differently. But I mean, loot boxes are never. I mean, when loot boxes first came around, it was like, oh, this is a little bit interesting. You know, you could get something good. But more often than not, what ends up happening is instead of feeling like you're getting a reward that's worth anything, 90% of the time you get junk.
Oh yeah,
and so especially it's like it's dumb.
And like the thing with fighting games is like people will generally play like maybe one or two characters. Mm-hmm. I mean, like like maybe 5 tops. We'll say 5 tops.
Right.
And like I think this. I mean, I don't know how many characters are on in Mortal Kombat 11 off the top of my head.
I think it was a good number.
Okay, 11 characters. Well, I just want the number. Oh no. Oh Jesus. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll say 25 just for funsies, just to round it out. So you have like you're playing a fifth of the staff.
Right.
Most likely, knowing how things work, at least when I play games like these and I'm trying to unlock stuff for characters, I never get the stuff I'm using for the character I'm playing. I always get stuff for characters I've never played before, or I don't even have unlocked or anything. So it's just always very not fun. And
how's it going? Nosy Live?
How's it going?
Day's going pretty good. We're talking about Mortal Kombat 11 right now. I was going to say I looked it up, and apparently 29 characters were confirmed back in March.
Okay, so 29. So if you run up to 30, that's like you're playing a sixth of the game.
Yeah, you're even playing less of the characters.
Yeah.
It'd be better, and maybe the reason why they're not doing this is because they just don't have enough content. But it'd be better if, for whatever character you were playing, the loot box would have to do with the character you were playing, and maybe there is like a general list of items you can get that apply to all characters. But then, if you were to get cosmetics, it would be for the character you're playing. But of course, they're not going to do that because they want you to continue to go, and it's just so weird that why would you create a process that frustrates people?
I mean, they just trying to. I mean, obviously, it's always about the money at the end of the day, and I'm sure they get some people with this, but it's getting to the point where like all this is getting bad press all the time. So it'll be interesting to see if that ever changes anything. I doubt it will.
Well, apparently they're doing patches for it. So
they are doing. Yeah. So this actual story, they are doing patches, which basically reduces the difficulty in Towers of Time, and fixes other problems. And as an apology, they're giving out like a bunch of other chests. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's another part of this whole thing where like the chests require different currencies to unlock them. So you have like coins, hard soul fragments, and time crystals.
Oh Jesus! That's a lot of
so
currency.
Yeah, yep. So that's a thing. But I was about to say like I could even like reach them halfway with like the whole like playing as a character. You unlock stuff for that character. There's like 2 factions, like 2 or 3 factions in this game. Maybe the characters you're playing are in one faction. You unlock stuff for people that are in that faction, you know?
Right.
At the very least, just like have grouped like stuff you can unlock. Just trying to reach across the table just a little bit. I get you want to make money, but Christ.
Yeah.
Just try to be like a little bit helpful, I guess. I don't know what the word is. I don't know. I'm not a game developer.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, a lot of the fighting game community love like the actual fighting mechanics and love the game itself. They just hate this whole part of it.
Right. Novzy Live says, are you guys interested in FPS games? If so, which ones? I actually don't play a lot of FPS games anymore. I used to play them a lot more often. But I will say the one FPS game that I'm really excited about it's just Halo being put on PC.
Oh, Halo Master or the Master Chief Collection. Yeah, that'll be fun to play again.
But as far as being specifically excited about a particular FPS game, not really. But I do like a lot of FPS games. Yeah,
I had to say, yeah, I'm pretty much the same exact boat. I just the most fun one I've played in recent time is Titanfall 2. Right. That's still a banger. I still play that every once in a while just for funsies, even though there's like maybe 1,000 other people playing that game, but it's still fun.
Right.
It's a first-person shooter with giant mechs, and you shoot in the mechs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Mortal Kombat 11, and it's the Towers of Time is bullshit. So don't do it. I guess I don't know.
You've been warned. What's funny about this is the amount of just like differences in opinion between types of developers when it comes to how you do cosmetics. Because if you look at like a JRPG, and when they do cosmetics, they just release them in packs, and you just get everything in like $4. You just get like everyone's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, you just pay for it, and now everybody's got a weird maid costume, and you're like, okay, cool, right? But then for some reason, everything's going like with Western developers. It seems like there's a lot of loot boxing happening, and it's crazy to me that a game development company would decide to make a game that has a loot box functionality after all of the backlash of loot boxes that's already happened, especially in a few European countries, and there's talk of legislation, and now if this is brought up again, it's already causing a stink. It's probably going to make that more likely to be a thing. So maybe that's their secret plan. Like, we'll make a really bad loot box and tank our own game, but for the good of humanity. I doubt it, but
I don't think. yeah, we can pretend that's what everybody's doing. That's why people are making loot boxes. They're just trying to, run it into the ground so there's no more loot boxes.
Yeah, they're just doing everyone a favor. Have you guys heard of Fortnite? We have. In fact, we talked about Fortnite earlier.
Yeah, we're not Fortnite players either. No,
but we're not Fortnite players. No.
Yeah, no. I've tried a few times. I just can never get into that game.
It's a time commitment. I mean, like, even besides the fact that I don't super enjoy the game, it's also just like, if you're gonna play it, you gotta play it, and they update stuff all the time. There's all this new stuff happening, and so yeah, not my cup of tea. But we have one more thing here, and it's just real quick.
Yeah, and also text says if it's a paid loot box system, it's a bad loot box system for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
so Nintendo has announced a partnership with Tencent to release the Switch in China. Now, this article literally is just, what the hell, Gamatsu? I thought they were going to have more information. Did you open it? It's just a sentence.
Yeah, and if you click the announcement that they have on that is also literally a sentence.
We plan to work with Tencent. Thank you. Good night.
Nintendo Incorporated Limited is announcing that a collaboration is in progress with Tencent, blah, 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 to release the Nintendo Switch video game system in China. That's it. Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's a whole sheet of paper for 2 sentences and a logos. So, Nintendo with Tencent, we'll see how that goes, but Tencent, is just a little, it's got a little shade on it. It's just hanging out in the force just a little bit too much. It's just,
right. Yeah. And I mean, Tencent, they're already a huge conglomerate. Like, they don't just do video game stuff, but they already have like a big presence in video games just by itself. It's going to get pretty interesting here. I guess it's good for the Switch, because I'm assuming China's not like it. If they have to work with a specifically Chinese company, then I guess they don't even have the Switch, which means Smash Brothers, the glorious Smash Brothers, hasn't even made it over there yet.
Shit!
It's going to change their lives.
Probably. Yeah, Yep. Smash Ultimate is what's going to change China altogether.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, there's really not a lot. That's the whole story, so we don't really have a whole lot to say about it. But
yeah, I tried to find a list of like games companies. Oh yeah, Epic Games and Riot Games are both owned by Tencent, as well as Supercell.
I didn't realize Tencent owned both of those, but
yeah, I didn't realize it either. I wanted to confirm it, and yeah, the Riot Games and Epic Games are both subsidiaries. Supercell, which is the ones that made like Clash Royale games, they also own Miniclip. You remember Miniclip?
Yeah, I remember Miniclip.
Yeah, they own that.
Oh well, I mean, good for them.
And then a bunch of other stuff. There's like a music company and a banking company and all that. But yeah, they're huge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're ginormous. So, well, I mean, I'm glad they're getting the Switch to China. So we'll see how that works out for them. And yeah.
All right, cool. Well, In that case, we'll go ahead and close out the show. Fistcake, why don't you tell people where they can find you and what you're doing?
Yeah, you can find me on the old twitch.tv/fistcake where I stream Wednesday through Friday right now. Playing Monster Hunter World, Magic the Gathering, whatever I want to play on Wednesday. And for Fridays, we're going to be playing Sekiro for a while. I think maybe like at least 2 or 3 more streams at the rate I've been going through the game and whatnot. Nice. And after that, it's going to be either Enter the Gungeon or Bloodborne. And then the next thing will be the latter of the two, then Dark Souls 3. Basically, I'm just trying to play difficult games while getting a little drunk and encourage people to buy me shots, Just like I'm just some 21-year-old girl at the college trying to get wasted and just want to dance, but I want to dance on the fight floor with giant demons and stuff,
Yeah.
Other than that, on YouTube, I have 2 videos up a day. Morning stuff is usually switched up between me playing Robot Alchemech Drive and me and Adam, Fatal Neon TV, playing Day of the Tentacle.
Nice.
And the afternoon is me and Evie playing Binding of Isaac. Woo woo.
Woo woo.
Trying to think what else we're doing. A new video that I've been working on with me and Kelly from Super Hopped Up will be coming out Wednesday, so that'd be cool. Other than that, I'm on Twitter. I tweet stuff sometimes. That's about it. Where can people find you at?
Yeah, so you can check us out, both Matt and I, a part of NFL Gaming TV. He just wasn't able to make it today.
Is he going to come back soon?
In like a month and a half. Anyways, but he'll be back on the podcast sooner than that. So.
Oh, gotcha. That's what you meant by that. Okay.
Yeah. But you can check us out on YouTube and Twitch at the same place, Neanderthal Gaming TV. You can also follow us on Twitter at Neanderthal GTV. I'll be streaming Into the Gungeon probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, unless something else happens. And then over the weekend, we'll be doing Smash stuff. Cross your fingers. Matt might be able to play along with me, but I'm not going to try to make that a definite thing. But hopefully, if not, then it'll be next weekend. But otherwise, there's some things down the pike as far as multiplayer games that we're going to try out with keeping in mind the distance and all of that. But and the limited, he doesn't have quite the setup where he's at, but. As far as complete specific information is concerned, you can check us out at Twitter. That's still at Comcast, right?
Nope. Complete Podcast.
Complete Podcast. Okay, great.
Yep.
Perfect. So on Twitter, you can follow us on at Complete Podcast. That's where you can get information about the podcast itself, when we're going live, all that fun stuff. You can send us ideas and suggestions to constantcompletecast@gmail.com. The podcast does go live at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays, and all episodes are available on YouTube. The audio-only version is available on your favorite podcasting app, and both are released on Mondays. So we stream on Sunday, and then the very next day, it gets dropped. But anything else you need to say or talk about?
Yeah, so the new system is, because of me and Evie traveling around doing stuff and Matt being gone and whatnot, we're going to try doing a bi-weekly show for now. And we're going to make it like a little bit longer, so that way you're not like completely missing out. So it's not just like, news and then games and okay, bye every 2 weeks. We'll talk a little bit more about the games we played and the news that we care about.
Right.
So this Sunday, we're good. We're here. Obviously, we're doing the show. But the next Sunday we won't be doing it. It'll be the following week.
Right.
So that way, if you're listening to this is what's going on. And I think that's about all I have.
Okay, great. Well, that's even more of a reason to follow the Twitter, so you can know when we go live, because it's no longer going to be every week, but it'll be every other week, at least for the near future. But thanks so much for watching, enjoying, and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, thank you, Tag. Thank you, Nobsy, and see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.